Hi everyone, Maryann here, revealing light, tarot, astrology, and spirituality. Wherever you are in the world when you're watching, a huge shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, and welcome to new subscribers. And in every way you support this channel, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Okay, where are we at today? Not much further along to where we were. Last week, again, we see experts predicting. I think what is the prediction of recession now by the experts? I think it is around 60%. Some are saying that there already is a recession. Um, we're going to do a couple of things today. We're going to work through some questions that I have that some of you have put forward. And one of the big questions is what happens after 90 days? We'll look at if there are any significant deals done other than Netanyahu and obviously a desperate Vietnam. We'll look at will the US dollar, which is decline on the decline, will it be the reserve currency in 5 years? And the bond market, which is still very, very volatile. I read something over the weekend that suggested the Federal Reserve might even have to intervene if bonds continue to decline at the same time interest rates on bonds are going up. So there's a lot of volatility as a result of what Trump did. Some are still saying it was like a plan. However, I think everyone agrees, whether they like it or whether they don't, that the way in which this was done was terrible. For a president of the United States to stand up and say the Allies were kissing his ass is absolutely appalling. So there's a lot of karma going on at the moment, and I know that my viewers who represent the more sane and rational and less extreme part of the United States of America are in the majority, and we see a dwindling. Trump's support dwindling, and that has to be a good thing because we all know, including Americans who were polled over the last few days. It's very, very, very clear that the great majority disapprove of the way that tariffs have been implemented and done, and the policies of this current government in the US is not only hurting us, the Allies, but also deeply hurting Americans. And there are stories after stories after stories of people who have lost everything. So this is where we are at. Um, and people were warned. We all, people who voted for him that maybe wouldn't have, but did in 2024. They were warned, and so this is the outcome. But we're going to look at the astrology because that's very, very telling. But first, we're going to look at a few questions. The decks I'm using is the old style tarot. That's the first deck, and the second deck will be the Osho Zen Tarot. Okay, will there be any significant deals done? Of course, as I said, we had Netanyahu almost like it was a scripted interplay where he said, we're going to immediately reduce this deficit and give Mr. Trump, President Trump, exactly what he wants. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see. Will there be any significant deals done? First of all, there were 50 countries ringing, then there were 60, then there was 75, and the number kept fluctuating depending on who was being interviewed. Okay, are they lying about the people that phone? Maybe other countries were phoning to abuse them, because what has been done has been very, very unfair. Services were not taken into account. America exports services, which has made America quite strong, quite wealthy, and they weren't taken into account when they did this so-called reciprocal tariffs. Okay. All right, let's get started. Will there be any significant deals done? Will there be any significant deals done? So I'm seeing an old man, an elderly man, with a quill. I'm not sure who that would be. A balding man with glasses. Um, I don't know why he's turned up here. What have you got to say? Okay. Who is this? If I find a photo, I'll post it because somebody very, very well known. The top of his head is completely bald. He just has grey hair around the sides. All right, let's see what he's got to say. Was he a past president? I'm not sure. All right. Will there be any significant deals done? So he's writing something for me to look at, but I just can't make the words out. All right, Five of Wands speaks to just partisanship, politics, competitiveness, knocking somebody over. Um, the Empress card is the other signifier card, and that is abundance in time. So, the object of the tariffs, of course, were to force people into deals. The way that it's been done is the problem. So, every country would like to have a solid manufacturing base. Um, every country would like to have the kind of exports of services that America has as well. Um, it seems to be the way that it is done has been the issue. All right, let's keep going. The Six of Pentacles is loans and debt. So debt is at the foundation of the reading. So in order to manage the debt, they adopted this approach to try and well, Trump wants to do his tax cuts for the wealthy. Um, and so who pays the tariffs? The Americans pay the tariffs through increasing costs. Americans and businesses and corporations. The foundation of this is debt. Okay. So in the past we have the Nine of Wands, boundaries and guardrails. That was in the past. And the Knight of Cups, potentially some deals could be done, but this is only a potential. That's in the sky. And then we have the Ten of Swords, complete and utter downfall here. Bit of a worrying card, the end of something. We have the Ten of Pentacles in the here and now, which is investments, retirement investments, legacies, money. And then we have the Queen of Cups, is a nurturing card. She brings stability forward through nurturing of the self and nurturing of others. So people are really feeling the pain here. Okay, will any significant deals be done? The hope and fear, of course, is economic stability, financial stability. And then we get the Knight of Wands. So yes, there will be some deals. We also get stability here. The Queen of Pentacles comes through, but the Seven of Wands defending. I think some of these deals will be military. I think that's what Israel has said. They will buy from the American defense industrial complex. I think Ukraine has said that they're willing to spend a couple of billion, I think it is, on weapons. It looks like the defense industry is benefiting here, but then we get isolationism. And where does this kind of approach, this protectionism get? People, as I said in my previous readings, will bypass America. So I don't wish America to fail at all. I'd like to see a stable, secure America. Um, but unfortunately, this particular uh, president is anything but stable. And I think until he is reined in or goes, this situation with economic downturn and debt will persist. Um, we get the devil card, greed, and toxicity. Again, this uncertainty is yeah, it's causing, logically, the uncertainty with Trump is causing people to move away from the US. Now that's So we get circles of support and then death. Okay, long and the short of it is some countries will make deals. It looks like defense is the big winner. However, the volatility of Trump now has produced this isolationism, people moving away from the US, including investors. Okay, um, I think the iPhone would jump up to about $5,000, $6,000 and make it unaffordable if it were to move back on shore. I don't think that's what Trump is intending anyway. I think it's more coercion, extortion, perhaps, but it's also um, who are the new allies? Well, the new allies are those which transact with us. Okay, so looks like support for America has dwindled. The end of support for America under Trump's government. I mean, that will come back once he's gone. This approach is just for anyone who has a brain to think with. It's just dumb. It's illogical and dumb. Taking a meat axe to your trading partners is going to do what? It's going to kill them off. Okay. Some deals will be done. Looks like defense is the big winner. Will the tariffs be reinstalled after 90 days, which is the big question, for all those who don't do whatever the deal is? Okay, what can you show me? So he's on a crusade. I don't see that he will back off. The bond market will be probably a consideration for him, and I'll get to that in a minute. So, will the tariffs? This person is still trying to write something for me, and if I would just take the time, I could make out the letters. Um, there's something chaos, uh, an equilibrium. Equilibrium. That's the word he wants to say. Let's see if I can just do a little bit of channeling, whoever this is. So it's like the people will rise up. And again, that Maslow's hierarchy of needs when their needs aren't being met. But it's like equilibrium will be found. And that's something that he can't hold back, is that equilibrium, that balance. Okay, everything balances itself out. Just like a ledger, everything balances itself out. Okay, will the tariffs? Okay, so all right. So will the tariffs be reinstalled after 90 days for those who don't do a deal? Will the tariffs be reinstalled after 90 days for those who don't do a deal? Very odd thing to. Well, some will be paused. That's the signifier card, and the Eight of Pentacles lowered. Some will be lowered. All right, the Sun card. Um, that's full illumination. We have the Three of Cups support, but that's in the past. We have the Page of Wands in the sky. Not enough. Not enough to correct. Some will be paused, but not enough. Let's see. The Empress card is something that has, pardon me, a season of time. Some may even be paused even longer. The High Priestess, something we don't know about, and the Knight of Wands, movement forward, a plan, a movement forward, and death in the hopes and fears, the end of something. We get the Star card, hope. Ooh, clarified by the blank card in this pack means the unknowable. Um, Six of Pentacles, debt. Um, the deck is trying to tell me that um, maybe hope is we don't know whether we should be hopeful, and I just see debt. and then we get a new start, moving out of troubled waters. It's the bond market. Down the bottom of the pack, which is the underlying energy, is abuse, sabotage, isolationism, defending oneself, and disappointment. So, what is playing out now is not positive. Will they be paused? Some will be paused for a further 90 days or whatever the magic number is. Um, some will be taken off based on those that do deals, and some will be paused. I think that's where we are, where we come out. None of this adds up to certainty for the market or certainty for investors. And this is the issue. Donald Trump is going to do what Donald Trump wants to do. He's just not, yeah. Okay, so let's see what will the bond market correct itself? I can't see until it gets some certainty that it will. Will the bond, it's almost as if he has to provide certainty before those 90 days are up. Will the bond market, there's something here we're not seeing, part of an outright plan to pay off debt, maybe. 10% is on everybody to raise money but the bond market is the key thing. Uh, Donald Trump's master, if you like. Will the bond market stabilize? 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 Maybe after he's no longer president. We have logic, a plan. No. Again, the blank card comes up. An absence of logic, perhaps. We can't see the logic. And if bond markets can't see the logic, the government is at well, will the Federal Reserve have to step in? There's a possibility of that. Support is in the past. Again, those that supported are in the past. Now we have the Ace of Pentacles. That's in the sky. That's clarity. If there can be some clarity, it might recover. The deals, okay? Everybody's waiting for the deals. The Emperor, the control, is in the present, and his victory is in the atmosphere around. So if he can do those deals, that's the pressure on his trade advisors. If he can do those deals, then there's certainty there. But we have the Five of Wands, politics, competitiveness, politicking, and then we get the Six of Pentacles again, debt is in the outcome, and sabotage and abuse. So no, it's not going to stabilize. But we have the Fool card here and isolationism. So no, the bond market, here's the bottom line. While ever the protectionism and isolation is there, the bond market doesn't recover. It's that simple. It is that simple. While ever the guardrails against unfair and rash, exaggerated action is there, the bond market won't recover. So we have guardrails, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the King of Pentacles. There needs to be some moderation and less volatility back into the policies and the government before the bond market will respond. How extraordinary. How extraordinary the bond market. All right. Where do we want to go now? I think I've got just to give you some good news. I think I've got, well, let's see. Let's move away from finances. Is Trump doing deals for himself? Let's just ask that. That's still finances, but let's see. Is Trump let's see what the cards have got to say. Is Trump doing a Nero, well, obviously fiddling while Rome burns, playing golf while America suffers. Let's see, is Trump doing deals for himself? Is Trump doing deals? Is Trump doing deals for himself? Is Trump doing deals for himself? He's throwing someone over the cliff. Is Trump doing deals for himself? Oh, yuck. The Tower card. Woo. So, pardon me, yes, he's doing things for himself. And the Knight of Pentacles, stability. Well, his financial stability is on very shaky ground. Four of Pentacles, financial, his financial, isn't that, I mean, again, is he in financial trouble? Six of Swords, moving out of troubled waters, is in the past. He's about to, he's about, whether it's through people taking litigious action against him in the civil courts, he's about to get hit with a real financial freak, sorry, bomb, freaking bomb. This is very clear in these cards, which is going to cause him immense financial pain. There he is. This is a very specific message that through civil action or in some other action, states suing him, I don't know what it is, but he's in real big, deep financial trouble. The Ten of Cups with the voter as well, are not selling the merchandise. um, Retreat, wounded, is in the here and now. Lies and deceit is in the environment. Ooh, goodness gracious me. Whoa. Hanged man, pausing, looking at things another way in the hopes and fears, and the Seven of Cups. Illusion, delusion. That Neptune was in Pisces, moving into hard reality, Aries, isolated. Oh my God. And there's his money. And the devil card, the devil card. Um, there's as as his population, as his judgment, as his popularity goes down, so do his finances. And he's in real deep, 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 deep inevitable financial trouble here. I know that certain businesses are suing him for the reckless action here. He's going to be in a world of personal financial pain. Through what? Through his lies and deceit. Gee whiz, that's karma. I mentioned karma here. The ledger is being balanced. Whoever that person was, like an accountant type person, the ledger is being balanced in a karmic way. Okay. All right. So will JD Vance ever be president? I think we'll use because there's all sorts of memes here. Uh we'll use the Osho Zen Tarot to ask this when he said we are so what are we're borrowing from peasants and and taking all the peasants' cheap goods. That's no way to run a country. I mean, really, the last time the last time I looked at China, they were pretty damn sophisticated. All right, well, JD Vance. I mean, how outrageous can a person be? Jesse Donald Vance. All right. It's almost like he's a joke. I'm sorry, but when I look at MAGA World today, I just see a bunch of losers sitting in the corner of the playground that couldn't get themselves out of knots if they tried. You know, they can't even tie a knot. They certainly can't undo one. Like, it's just every time I look, I go, oh. Okay, so it's so bizarre as to be You can't run policy like that. You can't run a country like that. Okay, without paying a very high inflationary price. Okay, so let's see. Jesse Donald Vance, you ever going to be are you ever going to be elected president? Jesse Donald Vance, are you ever going to be elected president? Oh, he's painting his face. Okay, adventure. Okay, this is the page of Pentacles, and then the four of wands, participation, adventure and participation. Woo! That's you, Jesse. Okay, we get integration, which is temperance is at the base of the pack, moderation. He's having an adventure in extremism. Oh, we get the nine of pentacles is in the past, ripeness. Okay, so why do they do this? Why do they do this? They do it because they're entrepreneurial grifters. Okay, he was paid some money. There's some economic opportunity, financial opportunity for him. So we get the Queen of Cups, receptivity is in the sky. We get the Eight of Pentacles in the future, near future, ordinariness. Not going to set anything on fire, is he? Okay, so we get the Two of Cups, friendliness or otherwise, and then the atmosphere around is the Queen of Pentacles, stability. So what's he doing? He's upending stability again. The Nine of Wands is exhaustion in the hopes and fears. I don't know why he doesn't change his damn approach. And then we get the Four of Swords, postponement. Sorry, but that's the Four of Swords. I just can't take this guy seriously. I know I should, but that's the Four of Swords. Doesn't look very happy. The colours outside of him, outside the window, and then all of this is very, very dreary. Postponement, and then we get the Lovers card, which is relationships, and then we get the Nine of Cups, which is laziness. I don't think he's going to be elected a president with those cards. Okay, the outsider. He's not going to make the base. The Five of Pentacles, the outsider. Ah, dear. And then the Five of Cups, clinging to the past. I'm sorry. Three of Wands, experiencing. This fella was incredibly immature. Um, Sorry, I shouldn't do that, but these cards were a real hoot. I'm glad. I hope you got some light entertainment. All right, let's move to the astrology because really it's very, very interesting. If if you don't want to join me for that, that's fine. Thank you for tuning in. I hope I left you with something to smile about. I just want to say it's going to be okay. This kind of idiocy can't last. It's unsustainable one way or another. Um, I do want to, where are we? April the 14th. So in my next reading, I'll tackle whether or not Trump will bring in the Insurrection Act on April the 20th. I'll do that in the next reading. That's probably all I'll do in the next reading. But for now, that'll be just prior to Easter. Let's have a look at the astrology. Ah, dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Okay, where are we? All right. So I'm using the US Sibley chart and I've just added the transits in for the 14th of April because we're about 15 hours in front of you. So literally you're looking, it's today, 14th of April's today in Australia, but it's the 13th where you are. So this would be what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, so I've set it for Washington, D.C. It's really interesting because straight away, again, it was the US Pluto return. the US has Pluto, according to this chart, Pluto in Capricorn, and we have now Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius. It's a whole different landscape. And we have Pluto opposite not only its natal Mercury in the eighth house, which is the ending of something, endings and new beginnings, but also opposite transiting Mars, all in Cancer. So, what is Mars? Mars in Cancer is arguments, volatility, volatility of feeling, anger. What is Mercury in Cancer? This is about communicating our emotions. What is that people are angry, given Pluto in Capricorn is the foundation there. They're angry about the loss of their money. They're also communicating that via their protests. So right now, that is a dominant theme. Whether you see 36,000 in LA with Bernie Sanders, whether you see a whole, 120 odd thousand booing Mr. Trump, wherever you go, the town halls, this is a very, very volatile and angry nation at this time. Okay, so we have in the natal chart the Sun, Jupiter, and Venus in the seventh house of relationships, along with Mars. Now, relationships and partnerships, the US has benefited from those. It's a reasonably young country, like my country, Australia, whereas, other countries have been, taking China, for example, 5,000 years. And so we are there are some things we are needing to experience. Let's just put it like that. But in the US Sibley chart, I guess the foundation is its relationships with others, its partnerships within and without its country. So we have here transiting moon hovering over these planets. Now, what is the moon? It's volatility. It's things coming up from the surface. It is, how do I feel? And again, in Cancer, how do I feel? And so if markets and the bond market, stock market, people's feelings about their finances, they want stability, and the moon is saying, I'm sorry, there is no stability. And we see this here, this square, the moon and the Sun, Jupiter, Venus, natal, and the transiting moon are squaring our old friend Saturn. Saturn in Libra, natal Saturn in Libra. What is that? Libra is all about balance. Saturn is all about father time, lessons, feet to the fire, the great task master. In other words, the volatility is here to teach. It's time to teach. Now, would Trump's tariffs approach have been sensible if he had have done it fairly? Because Libra is also about fairness, balance and fairness, equilibrium. It's the we, not the I, it's the we. And if this had been done in a different way, it may have succeeded. Now we have transiting Jupiter in the red and natal Mars in the seventh house. Again, America's been fairly strong in the way that it's formed its allies in the past. But there is this square here up to natal Neptune in Virgo. And so what does that mean? It means that Virgo is all about detail and hard work. Neptune is about creation. But the square here says if there's too much aggression, and Jupiter, while it is the great benefic, it's also an expansionist. So if the aggression is expansionalist, and not balanced because of Neptune can be illusionary, because of an illusion of some sort, then the resulting conflict is there to teach a lesson. If I had to pick a planet or a sign that would be used to describe Trump and MAGA, it would be Neptune in Pisces. And so we go down here to the third house, which is communication, relation. I guess relationships to insofar as how we communicate to one another, siblings, etc. And we get here the Saturn in Pisces. Again, Saturn will always bring reality to the fore. Bang. And Saturn is sitting next to Venus, love, relationships, Mercury, communication, the North Node, all in Pisces. And so, what are we creating for the future? But the real issue here is Neptune has moved out of illusionary, can be illusionary Pisces, into the reality of Aries. What are we creating? We're about to find out what we're creating. We've got the sun in Aries. Of course, Aries is action, but we also have Chiron, the wounded healer here. And this is all sitting on the US's IC. The home, the fourth house is associated with home. And so there's an identity wound here that is being corrected. Exceptionalism. What is the identity of America? It used to be that. What is it now? It's something else altogether. When you start burning books, banning research, the brightest minds have been driven away. What is exceptionalism? I'm an exceptional racist. Is that what it is? I'm an exceptional, I don't know, Christian. Is that what it is? I'm exceptional emperor, controller, dominator. Is that what it is? What is the identity here? Now, the biggest issue here for me is transiting Uranus and Algol. Remember, Algol off with one's head. Is sitting on the US's natal Algol in the sixth house. What we have to understand about Uranus is it's unpredictable. It is lightning change, and the sixth house is obstacles, ill health. It's not a wonderful house. I'm sorry. I mean, everything has a purpose. I guess you experience something and you learn. But this is showing that there is volatility again here. So the chart is really just backing up, charting the transits, I guess. How will all these things work together? Well, if you take away the transits, you have this lovely stellium in the seventh house, good relationships with allies. You have Pluto in Capricorn in the second house in the Sibley chart, the birth of the nation. I think it's the signing of the independence, Declaration of Independence. You have Pluto and Capricorn in the seventh house, so wealth, accumulation of wealth. Saturn in Libra in the 10th house is going to be about fairness, equilibrium, and really the reality check if you stray too far away from that. So again, the karmic cycle to me, looking on through when I deal cards or when I look at the astrology, adds up to some lessons and experiences being felt right now. The good thing about time is everything passes, and we take the knowledge that we've accumulated through those lessons and we implement them, and we are better for that. So what was going to break the spell of the run, the fervor of imbalance? It was going to be what happens when things get out of balance. And so on that note, let's just have a look. Will will there be a stable and fair leader in 28? Let's get beyond left, right, Dems, Republicans. Will there be a stable leader for America? One that can bring forward good policy, recovery policy? Um, will there be a stable and um, fair leader? One that inspires, that can bring together various divisions? Will there be a stable leader in 2028? Because it's not what's happening now. The two of wands just popped out there. Be patient, and it's possibilities. Okay, so right now, the damage that may have been done um, can be corrected in time. It's within the realm of possibility. There's your eagle there. There is a pathway forward. Is that a setting sun or a rising sun? Perhaps it's both. Now we have here creativity. I like that. Creativity, which is the magician. Pretty sure it's the magician card, manifesting something. Or is that the okay. All right, creativity. And then we get the two of pentacles, moment to moment. Yeah, recovery is possible depending on good decisions and good choices. Which choice do you make? And recovery is possible there. Sorry, that's the Empress card. Yeah. So there's volatility there, but and abundance too within time, depending on the choices that are made. There's the possibility card. We have the Seven of Wands, which is defending oneself. It's trying to stay afloat here. For it's called stress in this card. The Seven of Wands, defending oneself. We get the Mind card, which is, I'm pretty sure that is that the Page of Swords? But this is attaining clarity. If there's enough clarity there, that's in the past, the Mind card. What happens after adverse events? You reflect, and you gain clarity if you've learnt the lesson well. That is in the past there. What's in the sky? Consciousness. Oh yes, oh yes. Consciousness is there. I think that's the King of Swords. Okay, yeah. Providing there's logic and planning. We have the unconscious realm of Neptune in Pisces, bringing something forward to the consciousness. I like that. I like that card. So we have the Ten of Cups, which is harmony in the near future. So these are as you would expect. We have courage. Oh, I love this. This is strength card in the here and now. Be brave. And we have the Four of Wands, participation. Everybody in America who is protesting, fighting, forced consciousness to bring something else forward is displaying courage. Okay, patience is the Seven of Pentacles in the hopes and fears. If first one plan doesn't succeed, we try another. So this is like I don't want to belittle it in any way, and I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to explain because I think you know. Okay, the outcome is integration, which is the World card. Um, uh, Endings and beginnings, new beginnings. So we have an integration happening here in order to get consciousness, and it's clarified by the Fool. Pardon me. Pardon me. I've been talking too long. Existence, which is, I think that's the Magician manifestation. So that was the Empress card there. integration and existence. Looks like the lessons have been learned. This is, oh, there's the full card. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is just so good. Sorry, that's temperance. Integration is temperance. Sorry, I shouldn't try and convert the card. I should leave them as they are. So we have here consciousness. I've become conscious of balance and equilibrium. And we have what am I manifesting? I'm manifesting a new start. I couldn't have asked for a better set of cards in the outcome. You will get stability. People will be more highly conscious. You will get someone balancing because the consciousness has been integrated. You will have manifestation of a new start. Temperance was the outcome. All very, very strong, yes, cards. I'm so pleased that I got that reading for you, but I got to stop talking now. I am an asthmatic. I've expended a fair bit of energy and breath. It's time for me to go and be conscious and get on with my day. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in, and bye for now.